Good morning from Kathmandu. We are heading to Bessie Sahar, and today we start our trek for Annapurna Circuit. Hi, my name's Brian, and at the start of 2017 I decided to trade my job for a backpack. These are my adventures. Bottoms up! Right now we are in a bus park in Kathmandu, and pretty soon we'll be jumping onto a micro and heading to Bessie Sahar. From there we'll start the trek for Annapurna Circuit. Well, after an interesting, 7-8 hours on the bus, we have arrived in Bessie Sahar. No idea where we are yet, so we're going to find some food, get our bearings and work out where we're off to next. Well, that was an interesting ride. We stopped in Bessie Sahar. The bus from Kathmandu dropped us off there, signed in at the check post, and we decided to get a bus to Bhulebhule. And some of the reviews that we saw online said that there wasn't really much to see for the first couple of hours anyway, and since they've sort of built a lot of the road through, so the decision was to stop Bhulebhule. We actually stopped there, which was just a little bit further back, and we've decided to continue on. We're going to go to Nadi, and that should be about an hour walk or so, which would probably be good for our first day. Get a little bit of practice in and get used to carrying the packs. So we should be there in about an hour. Well, we arrived in Nadi. It was probably only a half an hour walk, and along the way we met this gentleman behind me here, who's the owner of this guest lodge, the Greenview Hotel and Lodge, and he's offered us room and board. We have hot showers behind me, and I'll show you through to the room. Basic room. It'll cost us 400 rupees for the night. Small place, and here's the room. Basic room, a couple of single beds, blankets. It's sufficient. We have lights, we have power, which means we can recharge. We're going to have a shower and have some dal bhat for dinner. We're going to do the trek, the sidewalk.
Yep.
Not too sure. We might see how the weather pans out there. We had a view of the mountain just a few minutes ago, and just popped out for a few minutes to say hello, and now it's completely gone again. Up behind me in the distance, can't even see it now, but over behind us here we've got some dark clouds coming in and a bit of thunder, maybe a storm on its way, so we might see how the weather pans out, and then we'll decide whether to, there's a trek just up here, about 10-15 minute walk up the hill. It's a very steep hill, so but it might be worthwhile checking out after we have a shower and freshen up. I mentioned before that the lodge has a hot shower, but the part that you can't read is the hidden words that are, if you are hot, a cold shower will cool you down. I think that's what it's supposed to say. There's no hot water. The other thing which I came to expect while I was in Nepal is the toilet. It is a squat toilet, and I was expecting it before I came, but fortunately so far everywhere I've stayed has had a Western toilet. So today was the first time I've actually had to use the squat toilet, and it was a success. So that's good news. Namaste. We opted to go for that 10-minute walk. It's actually not very far at all. It's not even all that interesting, but old footbridge. It's actually, this part is part of the old Annapurna trail. They've built the roads through much of the area now. I think you can actually go by road all the way up to Manang, which is quite a considerable distance, and really takes a lot of the trekking out of it. But we should be about 7 days away from there, or maybe 5 or 6 at the least. But it's interesting to walk along the old part of the trail. It's sort of a few steps and bridges. It's a walking tree. I think Nadi is about, I could be wrong, I think it's about 700 or 800 metres above sea level, so we're still at a very low part of the journey, but it's a nice little walk along the old path from before the road was built, and heading up to the top of this hill, see what kind of a view we can get. So apparently while we were out for a walk earlier on, I must have picked up a leech, I guess. I'm walking along in my sandals and I'm like, something's sticky. And I took my sandal off and there's like blood everywhere. I mean, look inside my sandal. Like, that's just... wow. And so Moses goes to me, oh, there must be a leech, there must be a leech. And here he is. Dalbat for us for dinner, and my foot for the leech. We must have gotten back from the walk about an hour and a half ago. We've had food, whatever, unless I picked him up maybe outside. No, I think he's been there for a while. He's had a good old feast. So today's journey, we travelled from Kathmandu to Besisahar, and that took about 7 hours. Then we took a bus. After checking in at the Tim's checkpoint here, we took a bus up to Bhulebhule, and then walked up to Nadi. So the plan for tomorrow, I think, will probably be to Buhandanda and possibly on to Gamupan, maybe on to Chamche. think we're ready to rock. Good morning once again. So it is day 2. The first day we spent what in total about 8.5 hours in buses, maybe a little longer, and spent our first night here in Nadi, 7 AM roughly, and we are on our way forward. So we'll find somewhere for the next probably about an hour until we reach the next village. What a fool. I brought a spare pair of shoes. The reason I bought a pair of Salomons before I left home and sort of gave them a few weeks to break in, and they're probably a little narrow for my foot, but they are good trekking shoes, so I brought them with me. They're my main shoes that I'm wearing. They're waterproof, so I wanted to bring them with me, but I also brought with me my pair of Asics from home, which is an old pair. They fell apart within about 6 months, but they're the best shoes that I've ever had, and they're just like walking on a cloud. So I brought them with me so that if I needed, like if my feet were a bit sore or whatever else, and we were in sort of dry terrain, I could switch shoes. I left them back in the room, so Moses gets a 20-minute break while I walk back to the room. Hopefully my shoes are there, and go back and catch up with him. Okay, so we've been walking for about 2 hours from Nadi, and we've arrived in Bhulebhule. There's a check post behind me here, so we'll check in, and then we're going to continue on probably to Siangi. So we're well on our way now from Bhulebhule to Siangi, and probably close to halfway there, I guess. And just up to admire the view. It's just absolutely breathtaking. Words can't describe the scenery, the mountains that are around us. The river is just amazing. It's like this creamy green colour. It's just incredible. Even the ground is just the quartz. Sure if you can pick it up on the camera, but the quartz and the small streams that pass are just absolutely beautiful. I saw our first markers a little while back, so I did know that the Annapurna Circuit trail is marked with a red and a white colour, so that you know that you're on the trail, and side treks are marked blue and white. These have been set up for trekkers. And up until Bhulebhule I hadn't actually seen any, but we've seen a couple on the way past now, so I'm feeling a little more confident that we'll be right to find our way around. However, that being said, there's a lot of other trekkers and guides and porters and everything on the route anyway, so if we have come to a bit of an intersection, there's usually been somebody around who could point us in the right way. But as we get higher, just in case there aren't as many people around, it's sort of comforting to know that those markers are there. So we must have been walking for a couple of hours now, and I'm not sure if you can see a little village over on the hill there. I hope like hell that's Siangi. we're on day 2 of our Annapurna adventure, and we left home, we left the lodge this morning about, it was just after 7. It must be about 3:30 now, and we're arriving in Jagat. Now that was our plan for the day, was to reach here. We stopped for lunch in Gurmu, I think it was called, and earlier in the day we stopped for breakfast in just before, the name escapes me. Oh, it's tired. It's been a very grueling day, to say the least. You climb uphill only to have to climb back down it again, and this bag is certainly taking a bit of getting used to. But we have arrived in Jagat, and now we'll probably stay here the night. I think the next town is maybe Siangay or Chamche, but it's probably about another 2-hour walk, so by the time we stop here and grab something to eat or tea even, or have a bit of a break, it'd probably be a bit too far to go tonight. By the time we get there it'd be dark, so we'll probably end up staying here. I'm so glad that we decided to continue on and come up this far. Feeling a little bit sore, we've been stretching for the last half an hour or so, but yeah, starting to feel a little bit sore, so I might go for a small walk and just try and loosen up a little bit. But have a look at the view from the window. So that's the view from the dining room. It is just breathtaking, like the whole day. That particular waterfall is 202 meters, a 202 meter drop there, so it's quite amazing, into the river along below. So I think it's going to be a very peaceful spot here, and certainly we were going to go to Jagat and spend the night there. We decided to continue on, and it's just so much nicer here. The scenery around is magnificent, and it's going to be a very, very peaceful night.